Hey guys, just a super quick one. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing a demo video for every saber that I put together, and this one is no exception. It'll be going up for sale soon. This is a 89Sabers FallenV4 with the Jedi Survivor pommel down the end. I was originally going to do a crystal chamber chassis for this one of my own design. I have the design ready to go, but I don't have the time to print it, test it, fit it, install it, and then do all of the stuff that comes with doing a custom chassis. So instead this one gets a slightly more basic install and is going up for sale to fund some bigger, more meaty projects that are coming up. So that's that for this one. It's a good kind of mid-tier lightsaber. It's, I would say, somewhere between an Eco CC and an Eco chassis. This chassis was done by KesselCustomSabers. It's got lots of accent lighting throughout, really good speaker venting, so all the sound comes out down the bottom here, so it's nice and bassy and nice and loud. There's some hidden speaker venting actually in the grip itself as well. There's some tiny like micro holes around there that help the sound vent out a little bit more. And then there's some accent lights down the bottom in the pommel, which means you get some nice shine through in the pommel, even though this is the FallenV4 pommel, the Jedi Survivor pommel, which is not broken and torn up. You still get some nice shine through down the bottom, which is pretty cool. Comes with a nice blade plug. So yeah, let's open it up and get a battery in. The hilt attaches in the middle here. You just twist it. Quite a lot of threads. And then it just slides off in one piece when you hit the bottom of the threads like that. The whole thing comes out. This is the chassis. Super basic design. I printed this one on my new Ender 3S1 printer. This was the second chassis that I printed on this one because I wanted to kind of dial in the settings and get it right. Chassis came out great. A really nice design. Functional and flashy at the same time. And then you've got in terms of the accent lighting, you've got a pixel strip here on one side, pixel strip here on the other side, and then a Shtok medium turbine ring down the bottom. I actually think it's a large turbine ring. I had to modify this chassis quite a bit in a few places to make certain components fit better. It could be that the settings on my printer weren't dialed in correctly when I printed this. It could be that the measurements on the hilt were slightly off. There are multiple factors, but it meant I had to slim down the top section and change some of the stuff down in the pixel holder down the bottom. But other than that, everything fits perfectly. You've obviously got a kill switch up top there. This chassis is static. It stays in the hilt. It doesn't come out because it's connected to the two tactile switches up the top. I spent a lot of time getting the tactile switches to respond correctly. I 3D printed a custom designed little insert for this top switch to make sure that it didn't travel as far as it was in the original design. This one is nice and clicky and responsive, the AUX on the back, but the power button I found was having some issues where it was kind of moving too far before making contact with the switch, so I printed a little kind of a spacer ring that fits into that. That's pretty much it. Like I said, the chassis is functional, but it's got some nice little blinkies in, so let's chuck a battery in. This kit will also come with a 18650 chrome wrapped battery. Same deal as always. The positive end is nipple to nipple, so this is the positive end and that goes down the bottom of the saber on this one. Just make sure you line up the nipple of the battery with the battery connector that has the nipple on it, otherwise you'll fry your board and then you'll be very sad. Put the battery in flat if you can. The battery is quite snug on this one, so just kind of click it in flat. Not like that, not at an angle. Come on, go down. Click, there we go. And then click the kill switch. And then your pixel lights will activate. So you've got the spinning turbine ring down the bottom, these two strips on either side. That's how the two strips look on either side of the board. And that's pretty much it. It's got the usual host of Proffie features, all the flash on clash, various things like that. I've set it up with the Fallen Order blade style. It's only got the one sound font active. The default sound fonts are still on the SD card for the Proffie. I just haven't enabled them. This is inherently a Fallen Order saber, so I've kept it with just the Cal Kestis Survivor font from Kyberphonic. Is it the Survivor font? Yeah, it's called the Survivor. Dual button setup, power on, and then auxiliary for blast and things like that. It's obviously outside of the hilt, so just wanted to show you the difference in lights with it enabled and disabled. So slide that in. Rotate it down. It is worth mentioning so because this grip piece is quite snug, I've stuck some electrical tape and heat shrunk it onto the edges of the board to make sure that nothing makes contact with the inside of the grip. If, whenever this saber is in use, you slide the grip off and you notice that the tape has been torn or come away, don't put it back in, because then you'll short something, because that implies that something has rubbed up against the contacts on the board, which you don't want. The board is seated down as low as possible, the solder joints are all really low and flush. The tape isn't there to hide a dodgy solder job, the tape is there to protect it just in case. It's like a final measure. It should be fine. Like the grip's gone on and off multiple times, I've not had a problem, so usually with an install, if it works, it's going to stay working unless something intentionally breaks it. So screw that in, stop screwing when you just feel a little bit of resistance. I've clocked this bottom ring so that it lines up level with the front button as it is in the game. And then you can see you've got shine through in the bottom, and you also get some of the pixel accent lighting visible through the holes in the grip, which is quite cool. And then it's got gesture controls as well, so twist on. Nice and bassy. Obviously I would cycle through the sound fonts, but we've only got the one sound font, so I was just going to reselect the same font again. We've got this is the FET263 dual button config, so I'll just run through some of the dual button combinations.
Battery level 25%.
Battery level's getting low, so it will be louder when it's got more full battery. So let's do a silent boot, so we can change some of the colors. It's got all the usual color change Proffie settings, or Proffie change features. You can cycle through all the colors. Let's go with that color. What color is that? Oh, it's just a light blue. Okay, fine. Twist off. I will just quickly chuck a blade in this. This kit does come with an Allen key. The 89Sabers kit comes with an Allen key. It's all in the original box, original packaging. When I ship this hilt out to whoever buys it, it'll ship with these two fins detached, just so it fits in the box safely. The fins are super easy to reattach. I'll show you how to do it. I'll explain that to you. In the top end here is a Shtok V3 Neopixel connector, not the Eco. This is the bright one, the standard one. I'll just run through the components. We've got the Shtok up there in a 1-inch holder. This takes a 1-inch blade. Two 6mm by 6mm by 4.5mm, I think, tactile switches at the top. Then a Proffieboard 2.2. 2 accent strips, a Shtok turbine ring, and a KRsabers 28mm bass speaker down the bottom. Chuck the blade in. It's not super snug, I've felt more snug ones before. It's really bright, nice and loud. All the usual features. It's a lightning block. I've done all the color accents to match the games. So the blade style is the Fallen Order blade style, and all the colors of the flash and stuff are also the same colors as is in the Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games. I'll just switch the color back. Actually, let's keep it green. And it's got all the usual features: flash on clash, the melt, drag, stab, all those things. I can send out some information if you want more on the button configs, but it's standard. Like I said, the grip unscrews, and all the accent lighting and stuff will update and change based on the blade color. I made sure to configure that, so everything is responsive. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. It's nice and loud. It's got some good weight to it. It's an 89Sabers hilt, so it's not super high end. It's nothing like the Ogdo Killer, for instance. But it is a really good kind of mid-level Neopixel saber. It's not quite an Eco. It's not quite an Eco CC. This chassis doesn't actually fit the staff configuration. I was originally looking for one that would fit, would be short enough to allow this to be used in the staff config, which is where you can attach 2 of these hilts together from 89Sabers. But in order for it to be a short one, it would mean moving the battery up inside the hilt, or using an 18350 battery instead of an 18650, which is not ideal, because then you get far less battery life. So I think this is a good compromise. It's a really nice kind of single hilt. Good fun to swing around. Obviously be careful if you are going to swing it because it is a thin neck, you don't want to break anything, but it's pretty well made. It's not going to damage itself anytime soon. Can adjust some configs if requested, put any fonts on there that you may already have. I'll put this one up for sale later today, but apart from that, that's the lot on this one. So thank you for watching. If you're interested, drop me a message. It's available on the Etsy, via PayPal, and also on my website. Yeah, that's pretty much it. May the force be with you. Happy buying, and I'll catch you guys soon. Cheers.